Hi guys, OB Dave here.
And I am Ash.
Together we are OB Dave and I am Ash, also known
as T-Rex Mouth.
As T-Rex Mouth. Shut your T-Rex mouth.
I know, right? What a ridiculous insult. I don't even know what to do with it.
It's one of those someone was like, they're either being really funny and they like you,
yeah, or
someone's being an arsehole and we just don't know
how or why.
It's almost impossible to know based off that comment, is it?
I'll just wow.
So yeah, for those who haven't seen it, there was a comment saying that Ash has got a T-Rex mouth and shut your T-Rex mouth, which actually is quite a funny comment.
It is. Fair. It's ridiculous.
I mean, you were laughing when you read it.
I was wetting myself. It was just like, out of all the things that I could be told to do, is shut your T-Rex mouth.
Well,
is it because my mouth opens so wide when I laugh?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know, but
now it's inspired me. I need to find a T-Rex crochet pattern.
Yeah, with your face on it.
Oh my God, no! I'm not crocheting my face.
I mean, feel free to tell me what kind of mouth I've got, what that relates to. Have I got some sort of dinosaur mouth? I don't think.
Someone did put a comment that, is there a way to turn the contrast down because your beard is so loud? And is there a contrast setting for gingers?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty basic. Just turn down the red. Maybe the yellow's a little bit. It's basic colour correction, guys.
I know,
Jesus Christ.
On, use your colour wheel.
Just download our video illegally, import it into Adobe Premiere, go to the colour correction bit, and just start playing with a few knobs and see what happens. Right then, the Fat Files. I wanted to do the new Fat Electrician video, but we're doing this on Friday, and it needs to come out in about an hour.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're going to do the new Fat Electrician video. It's longer.
Amazing.
That's why we're not doing that yet.
Do you know? Sorry to interrupt, but I can't stop thinking. I love the meme where it says, "If you're sad, think of a T-Rex trying to change a bed sheet," and it's just a T-Rex lay on the bed with his little hands like there.
Do you know I told you about the thing with mouth breathers and the fact that they're saying that chins are going backwards, and when it looks like someone's got no chin?
Yes.
It comes from generations of mouth breathing, allegedly. Have you ever seen the one where it's someone that's just got no chin and it's that same comment? I'd love to see them fold a bedsheet.
Because you can't
do that.
No, but it's also made me think again, when I used to do pole dancing classes when I was at uni, one of the instructors, she pulled her back really badly during an event. So she was taped up, and they put loads of that surgical tape to keep your back straight. And she was trying to show us things, and she kept doing it like a T-Rex. So we made a whole bunch of jokes about it and started doing new T-Rex moves and trying to do positions on the pole being a T-Rex. So maybe I am a T-Rex mouth. I still don't get this kind of insult.
I like it though. Right then, feel free to comment below with any clever insults, because I'm down for that. To be fair,
it makes us laugh. Yeah.
Right then, so Waffle House, the Roman Colosseum of the South.
Didn't we have a Waffle House? Oh no, that was a pancake house in Manchester.
It was a Dutch pancake house, and wasn't that a chain called Dutch Pancake House?
I don't know. I always only knew the one in Manchester, and it didn't last very long.
St. Peter's Square on the corner. Yeah, that was like a Dutch Waffle House or Dutch Waffles. I think that was a chain, and it was a thing at one point here, but
it phased out very quick.
Yeah. Let's do it then. Fat Files, Waffle House, the Roman Colosseum of the South.
Sweet.
Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. I actually debated on which channel I was going to upload this video on, because on one hand, we're going over a business and the business model that it has, but on the other hand, this restaurant is basically the Roman Colosseum of the South, and I'm pretty sure if you eat there enough, you actually get a deployment patch from the US military. Regardless, I wore my schnazziest tank top for the occasion. Today we're talking about Waffle House. Okay, just to be completely clear with everybody, I was pretty sure I was not going to get caught off guard, because Waffle House is already absolutely crazy. I started looking into it and then found out that Waffle House is somehow connected to the Manhattan Project from World War II. So they managed to actually surprise me, and we're going to get to it right after a word from our sponsor. Yeah, babe, what's up?
Hey, I need a boombox.
Okay, I can go get you one.
Perfect.
All right, I'll go get it now. Love you.
Love you.
All right, bye.
1 hour later.
Where's that boombox that I asked for?
Oh, it's right here. I got it for you.
What is this?
The boombox.
No, I wanted something to play music with.
Oh, that kind of boombox. Yeah, I got this instead.
Okay, we'll go to the store and get me a boombox so I can listen to music.
Can I keep this one still?
I don't care.
This video is brought to you by Delete Me. Okay, super simple business model. You give them money, they turn around and they make sure that online data brokers are not selling your personal information online. Okay, here's the deal. Pretty much anytime you use a free service on the internet, you click that little box that says I agree to the terms and conditions. You've basically just agreed to allow them to harvest as much of your personal information as humanly possible. They then turn around and sell that to online data brokers, and that's how they can afford to offer you a free service. But when you have Delete Me, they go and they monitor all of these online data brokers for your personal information, and then if they find it, they submit all the opt-out forms on your behalf, so they have to take down and stop selling that information.
I've just seen that mug in the background, which is the t-shirt that you got me for Christmas. It's never a war crime the first time.
Yeah.
I don't think my family were impressed with that t-shirt.
Were they not?
We went on holiday.
Really?
The first night when my mum's like, what's that t-shirt? And I said, it's never a war crime the first time. Dead silence. Dead silence.
They don't get it,
And
though.
I was like, it's a YouTuber. It's fat electricity. And it's still...
So when you buy Delete Me, you're not actually buying anything. You're just buying your way out of all the negative consequences of all the free shit that you've already gotten. And because they continue to monitor those data brokers, you're buying yourself out of all the future negative consequences of all the free shit that you haven't even gotten yet. So if you want to give Delete Me a try, there's going to be a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, Waffle House.
Did you see what it said on his vest?
No.
My autism hates communism. That's a great
That's
vest.
genius.
The story begins with a gentleman by the name of Tom Faulkner. This man graduated from law school at 23 years old, passed the bar, and immediately gets drafted in 1940 in the days leading up to World War II. Because he graduated from college, he's presented with two different options. He can A, go straight into officer training, and that's a 3-year commitment, or he can just be a normal draftee and go in as an enlisted soldier, and that is a 1-year commitment. Now you gotta remember, at this point in time, like 1940, while World War II is currently going on, America's not involved yet. The attack on Pearl Harbor has not happened, and prior to the attack on Pearl Harbor, the American people did not want to go to war. Because of that, Tom Faulkner figures, hey, we're not actually going off to war. I don't want to waste 3 years of my time just being in the military, not actually, fighting a war or whatever. So he chooses to be a draftee. Goes into the military as an enlisted soldier, E1 private. From there, goes off to basic training. As soon as he gets through basic training, the attack on Pearl Harbor ends up happening. America enters the war. He immediately opts to go into OCS training and commits for 3 years. After he completes the officer training course, he actually gets slotted to be a counterintelligence officer, where he does, and I quote, a lot of top secret stuff.
You see, my identity must remain mysterious and my mission secret. I cannot reveal it to you.
You can actually tell in the interviews that he gave later on in his life, like in his 70s, 80s, and 90s, that he's still not sure what he is and what he isn't allowed to talk about. But he did end up telling us that basically it was his job to try to sneak onto military bases, not as military personnel. So he would basically disguise himself as like a painter or a carpenter or whatever, and try to infiltrate a U.S. military base to expose weaknesses within the system to help counteract enemy spies. So he does that for a couple of years, and then...
You know what that makes me think of?
What?
The Family Guy skit where Stewie walks into a top secret area because he's got a cup of tea.
Oh, I seen that,
He
yeah.
just walks in and is like,
Morning.
morning,
Morning.
morning.
Yeah.
Like that. They just let him straight
That's
in.
it, yeah.
That's literally what that guy's job was then. Go to military bases and just be like, did someone phone a plumber?
It makes me think, like, when you say that, of remember those group of kids that started like getting into cinemas for free, but carrying a ladder with them to make it look like they were contractors.
Yeah.
Went on for ages. There was loads of videos.
Take a high vis with you everywhere, and then just pop the high vis on, and you laughing.
Call for a plumber.
Yeah.
Manager will be really disappointed if you don't let me in.
Yeah, it wasn't the boss from here. It was the big boss. From like head office. It was, I can't remember his name, but he's the guy that gave me a shout and said you needed someone.
Oh yeah.
See, that seemed believable, didn't it? You thought I was actually saying something.
I really thought that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just nonsense.
I was like, what? Where? What's happening?
And one day he ends up getting orders like, hey, you're going to Knoxville, Tennessee. And he's like, okay, for what? And they're like, don't fucking worry about it, just show up. So he shows up in Tennessee and he's given his orders. And those orders, I'm paraphrasing here, but they're essentially, hey, here's your partner. You two are gonna hop in that truck and you are gonna drive it from Knoxville, Tennessee to Los Alamos, New Mexico. You guys are gonna dress in plain clothes. You're not gonna look at what's inside the truck. You're not gonna talk about what's inside the truck. You're gonna take this map and take that exact route route. This route avoids every major city and every major highway. You are going to drive straight there 53 hours straight, taking turns sleeping in the passenger seat and not stopping for any reason whatsoever. And he does this for the next year and a half, pretty much non-stop. And then like 20, 30 years after the fact, he finds out that he was actually hauling the majority of the enriched uranium for all of the nuclear testing and the building of nuclear weapons. Which, as we all know, brings about the end of World War II, at which point he gets out of the military, moves back home to Atlanta, Georgia, starts helping his dad out with his real estate agency. Now, he does that for about 10 years, and during this time, he ends up selling the house right next door to his to another guy by the name of Joe Rogers, and they pretty much become best friends. Joe Rogers was also an Army veteran. He was actually a pilot that flew B-24s in World War II. Nice. When Joe got back home after the war, he did not want to go off to college, so he actually just took the first job that he was offered, being a short order cook at a now defunct restaurant chain known as Waffle House. He worked his way up, becoming a restaurant manager, then eventually becoming a regional manager. And then one day, his neighbor and best friend, Tom Faulkner, real estate agent, always looking for the next investment, comes to him and is like, hey, I'm thinking about opening up my own restaurant. I can get the real estate deal going on that side. I just wanted to know, like, if I opened up and bought a franchise of Waffle House, would you be willing to run it for me? Now, at this point, it's like 1954, 1955. Joe Rogers has a ton of experience inside the restaurant industry, and he basically tells his best friend, like, hey, don't open a Waffle House. You should start your own thing. Waffle House's business model isn't that great. If you start your own restaurant, I will help you run it. He then goes off on vacation with his family, and by the time he comes back, Tom Faulkner has already bought the real estate and comes to Rogers and is like, cool, what's the business we're starting?
Where's Pancake's house? What? We stop at Pancake's house.
And within the span of like 6 months, the very first of what is now the legendary restaurant chain of Waffle House opens. And Waffle House is legendary, probably for all the wrong reasons. I mean, even if you've never been to a Waffle House, you've heard about Waffle House because, well, I mean, Kid Rock got in a fight there. You've got Haley Booth, the viral Waffle House cook known as the last chairbender. There's entire subreddits and YouTube channels almost exclusively dedicated to all the fights that break out at Waffle House. I remember the first time I went to a Waffle House. I stretched first, I grabbed a GoPro, I was ready to yell World Star, Nothing exciting happened. I just had delicious breakfast at like 3 o'clock in the morning, which is probably 99% of people's experiences because despite all of the negative PR, Waffle House makes a ton of money and has an incredible business model. Okay, Waffle House had about $1.4 billion in revenue last year, which is about $650,000 per location. And when you take into consideration that each Waffle House is absolutely tiny, that's really impressive. Out of their 2,100 tiny Waffle House locations, their yearly stats are 58 million cups of coffee, 124 million waffles, 153 million servings of hash browns, 272 million eggs, which is about 2% of all the eggs consumed in the United States of America, and 85 million strips of bacon.
That is unbelievable stats.
I've got to say, that's a sore topic for us. And I know people were upset when we lost one of our chickens, Izzy, to a fox about a month ago. So, like, we were, like, 3 chickens, loads of eggs, too many eggs. But, yeah, Izzy died a month ago, or a few weeks ago, to a fox. We've just been on holiday, and then you came back a day early, didn't you?
I did.
To find Rosie, our oldest chicken, was, like...
just a beheaded carcass, sadly, and partly eaten.
Yeah, so now we're down to 1 chicken. We've got to build a new run and a new coop that's fox-proof.
And hope that Cherry accepts another 2 chickens.
And then get another 2 chickens, put them in there, and if she doesn't get on with them...
she's going to be dinner.
She's going to be... we'll maybe put her on some waffles.
I know. I think she'll be okay, that she's the most, like, relaxed chicken that we've had. Like, she didn't even have any issues with Rosie. It was Rosie and Izzy that had problems with each other.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Yes, I did the math. That is...
So, yeah, rest in peace, Rosie.
I know. Our oldest chicken. I'm glad that I was the one to find her.
Not the kids.
Not the kids. And also because I've grown up around farms and things, so I've seen that kind of stuff since I was a kid. I couldn't handle if the kids saw her like that. She was pretty torn up.
Jeez. Still in the bag outside.
Well, you didn't take the bins out on the bin days.
It's about 8,000 miles worth of bacon.
I worry what you just heard was
8,000
give me a
miles
lot
of
of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
So Waffle House is obviously doing something right. What exactly are they doing? Well, it all comes down to their business model and their branding. Now, with the Waffle House branding, all the negative PR about fights always breaking out at Waffle House, in a way, has actually helped them out a ton because Waffle House, by and large, is pretty much a regional chain. It's primarily down in the South. Yet, Waffle House has become a household name pretty much everywhere in America. You could have never even seen a Waffle House, and you already know Waffle House is open 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and they serve breakfast. Why do you know they serve breakfast? Because their name is fucking Waffle House. I mean, look at this sign. You're driving down the road, you see that, you know everything you need to know. They sell breakfast. The end. Do that with another breakfast place. If you're not from there and you don't know what a Denny's or a Perkins or an IHOP is, you have no idea. It's just a restaurant, maybe. Waffle House, they're selling waffles, which means there's like a 99% chance they sell other breakfast food. Fucking sold, I'm in. So already, the branding is absolutely incredible, but here's the true genius of it. Why did they call it Waffle House? Why didn't they call it Breakfast House or Bacon House or Hash Brown House? It's because waffles had the highest profit margin. I cannot stress to you enough how absolutely genius that is, right? Because you don't need to sell breakfast, all right? Everybody's already in on breakfast, okay? I could be blackout drunk at 4 in the morning, and you could ask me, hey, do you want breakfast? I'm coming up like the Undertaker every single time. And then you go, the only thing open right now is Waffle House. Okay, I was already sold on breakfast from the get-go, but because Waffle House is where we're going, guess what I'm getting? A motherfucking waffle, and they're making more money. It makes sense that Tom Ford...
Do you know what's crackers about that, though, is in the UK we've got a very different culture. I think because the States is so big, a lot of people drive everywhere.
Yeah.
So, like, the drive-through culture is a bigger thing and stuff like that, and, like, strip malls with, like, a Waffle House or whatever. Whereas we would be in a town at the pub or a club or whatever till 3 in the morning. The only thing that's open is kebab shops, and even past 3 o'clock is a push now.
Oh yeah, there is the odd like franchise of McDonald's that opens until
there's the odd 24-hour McDonald's,
but they're usually based around the clubs, and it's because they know the only choices are. I'm gonna sneeze.
And they literally have security on McDonald's doors.
Yes.
But our culture is like you roll out the pub or whatever at 2 in the morning, you go and sit in the streets eating a big fat kebab.
Yeah.
Because really, you walk to the pub because things are mostly within walking distance.
Yeah. Or bus.
This idea of like having a Waffle House that's 24 hours, I think it'd do really well. I think if they legalised weed at the same time as opened a 24-hour Waffle House in the UK, it'd be well successful.
We've got something similar in Manchester. It's called Cake Shop or something. I can't remember the name of it. Sweet Cake or something. And it's a 24-hour takeaway, but they specialise in like cakes and waffles and ice creams. It is... So it's Shake Away, that's what it's called.
Shake Away.
Shake Away. And they do like decadent like milkshakes as well. It's so nice. And I've done it even like hungover, drunk, in like whatever state. I just get waffles.
But can you imagine if like, because our breakfast would be like a full English breakfast, that's our equivalent really. Yeah. And can you imagine at 3-4 in the morning coming out of the pub and saying, someone going, do you want to go and get a full English somewhere? I'd be like, fuck no, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't want a waffle.
15 pints in me at this point. I want to eat a dirty kebab. I want to have nightmares all night because there was too much chili sauce on it. Horrific heartburn. And then be sat on the throne the next day regretting my life choice. That's a British night out.
That's your night out.
Yeah.
Is where we're going, guess what I'm getting? A motherfucking waffle, and they're making more money. It makes sense that Tom Faulkner was a counterintelligence officer because the man literally said 2 words and has already subconsciously tricked you into ordering the most expensive thing on the menu that makes him the most money. So the branding of Waffle House is both simple and brilliant, and the rest of the business model matches that to a T. Okay, all Waffle Houses are like virtually identical. They're very small. They only seat like 30 people, and you can actually see the cook making you your food. Now, at a glance, you're just like, oh, they're just going for that like 1950s drive-through type of a vibe, which they are, but there's way more to it than that. Because the restaurant is so small, the kitchen never has the opportunity to get bogged down, meaning that they're moving tables very, very quickly. So instead of having 1 kitchen and 100 customers, you've got 1 kitchen and 30 customers, and you can just turn those tables over 3 times faster, which pretty much guarantees that every customer is gonna get exactly what they wanted, okay? They're not going in there for 5-star dining. They're going in there because they're hungry and they want breakfast, and now they're gonna get breakfast really quick in a small setting that doesn't feel like a packed restaurant where they have to wait in line to be seated. And I know what you're thinking, what if one Waffle House just reaches its maximum capacity, right? What if it's just completely full with a line out the door 24/7 every day of the year? Waffle House surely would build a bigger Waffle House, right? No, we're gonna take the same parking lot, and right next to that first Waffle House, we're gonna build a second fucking Waffle House, okay?
Yes.
The plan is working, and if it's not broke,
three?
don't
that was
fixed it.
3.
Which is one of those things that seems dumb, but is
why I
actually
had
brilliant.
Control,
So obviously
you know,
speed is key
V
to this
if you're
business
gonna
model, and they've done
copy,
themselves a big
Control-C.
favor with their menu, because their menu is overwhelmingly simple, okay? It's literally one side of one piece of paper. Okay, the entire menu is comprised of like 10 things. They have waffles, sauce.
Oh my god.
Got to put a pause in there. Sorry, I've
Is
never
that
seen a
is that
Waffle
like
House menu.
chocolate toast?
Where,
What is
where
that,
are you looking?
that toast with the tomatoes? It looks like it's got something in it, like chocolate or something.
Is that the cheese and eggs?
Yeah.
sausage with sausage or city ham.
That toast looks...
That's not that, is it? That's that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh my god, it looks like maybe cinnamon toast or chocolate toast.
You know,
but it's not normal toast, that.
I wish we did hash browns better, because when you make them, you try and make them in the American style.
I do, yeah.
Whereas, like, if you go for a full English breakfast, you get
a
hash
triangle.
brown, which is this triangle of fried compressed potato, which they're all right.
They're all right.
Get a load of vinegar on it and a bit of salt and stuff, and they're okay. But if you look at the options with their hash browns, smothered, sautéed onions, melted cheese, hickory smoked ham,
yeah,
jalapeno peppers, sorry. It just...
I know, you like when I've done my hash browns.
I do.
I haven't done them for a while, actually. Excuse me.
Yeah,
It's just they take a lot of effort, because grating the potatoes and then soaking them in water to get all the obviously saturated fats out and stuff, and then frying them and adding flour and all that. It's just a lot of effort. But they turn out nice all the time.
They do. But I'm a fan of a simple menu.
I am.
You don't need to cater for everyone.
No.
It's just like one of everything, especially when you do breakfast stuff, because someone might come in and go, just give me a couple of eggs.
Yeah.
Or, something on toast. Or, like, there's infinite options there, even though it doesn't seem like there's a lot of things.
See, I'd immediately go for the hash brown bowl, because it's sausage, egg and cheese on a hash brown. Well, a pile of hash brown.
Large scattered hash browns covered in melted cheese with sausage and 2 eggs scrambled.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
What sauces do you have on the table at a Waffle House?
I feel like they do the biscuits and gravy, because
there is this biscuits and gravy there, but I mean table sauces, because
we usually have tomato sauce or brown sauce here.
I love hot sauce with stuff like that, though. So if that had a bottle of sriracha next to it, or I don't think Frank's would go with it.
No. Maybe a bit of the piri piri would go nicely with that.
Yeah. Oh God.
I want to know what that toast is. It looks like cinnamon or chocolate toast.
Yeah.
Weird with eggs.
But yeah, let us know what table sauces they do at Waffle House, because that makes or breaks a place like this for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, at best, we get a little bottle of Tabasco at places like this.
Yeah, usually there's no hot sauces. The British don't really like hot sauces.
It's just ketchup or brown sauce.
That's it. Or mayo.
Sausage, bacon, ham, eggs, toast, biscuits, gravy, butter, and syrup. Guess how many flavors of syrup they have? 1. It's fucking syrup-flavored syrup. The entire menu is simple, exactly how it's supposed to be. Oh, sorry, they have hash browns too. Sorry, 11 things, not 10. Anyways, moving on. Another reason they do so good is they actually might be the best fast food chain when it comes to taking care of their employees. They pay them higher than average, they have super flexible schedules, and they're one of, if not the only fast food chain that actually offers all their employees healthcare and dental insurance. Okay, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, but really, how good are they actually treating the Waffle House employees? I got the one stat that's everything you need to know, okay? Waffle House treats their employees so well that employees are willing to commute into a natural disaster to work at a different Waffle House when the occasion arises. Yeah, Waffle House is open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and they fucking mean it, okay? Whenever there's like a hurricane coming or some type of impending natural disaster, Waffle House organizes what they call a jump team, a bunch of Waffle House employees from a different region that's going to be unaffected, because they know that their local employees are going to be busy taking care of their own family and their own houses during a hurricane.
Really cool.
So they bring in teams from outside the region to work inside of a natural fucking disaster, and they're willing to do it.
I never said thank you. And you'll never have to.
Okay, McDonald's can barely get their employees to show up on a good day, and Waffle House has employees volunteering to commute into a fucking hurricane to make breakfast. And this is the most impressive part of the business because Waffle House has the best logistics and preparedness of any company I've ever seen ever. The only entity that beats them in logistical capacity is the United States military. Waffle House is literally ready for absolutely anything. Every single Waffle House has the playbook inside of it that details exactly how the staff is supposed to handle literally any type of emergency or situation that could possibly arise. And if for some reason the situation comes across that isn't in that playbook, after it happens, they immediately add it to the playbook. It covers tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, a hole in the roof from a branch falling, a car driving into the restaurant. You can drive a car into Waffle House and they're still planning on staying open. The playbook even has detailed plans for every type of disaster for what the local employees, while they're not working, should go home and do to make sure that their house and their family are safe as well. Every single Waffle House has a backup generator. The stovetop, it runs on propane, and they have a bunch of extra propane tanks on hand. Flashlights, candles, batteries, backup water. They have a special menu of what they're able to serve when the water is out and they're running on reserve water. When a Waffle House location is going to be in a disaster area, that Waffle House stocks up on extra food, and then all of the neighboring locations in the unaffected area also stock up and stage food there to get them more food when they need it. If Waffle House is a standing structure, those motherfuckers are serving breakfast come hell or high water.
Love it. I'm leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving!
Waffle House is so good at this that FEMA uses them to gauge how bad natural disasters really are. Yes, FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, literally uses the Waffle House Index to gauge how bad a disaster is. Okay, green, Waffle House is running as normal. Yellow, Waffle House is using the backup generator or having to use an altered menu. Red, Waffle House is closed. People are probably already fucking dead by that point. Waffle House is literally the Terminator of the fast food industry, okay? The fact that the federal government, probably the most powerful entity on the planet, maybe ever, looks at a chain of restaurants and is like, man, if Waffle House is closed, we need to mobilize the National Guard is fucking crazy. Now, maybe you guys are thinking the same thing I was at this point in my research, and I'm like, man, I need to invest in this company. I need to see if I can open up my own Waffle House franchise. This company's awesome. And this is where the bad news comes in. I mean, technically you can franchise a Waffle House, but most of us probably can't. The company is privately owned. It's not on the stock market. It's still owned by the families of the original two founders.
Wow.
And while they do allow franchises, they are super picky about who they let buy in to have a franchise, and they make it very, very expensive to buy in to make sure this is actually what you want. And while that is unfortunate, I think it's actually kind of awesome. It's a company that actually has morals and cares about their image more than they care about next quarter's profits, okay? Nice. It's a company that has committed themselves to making breakfast under any circumstances, and they're gonna see that through till the very end, even though they could probably make way more money by just selling franchises and letting whoever the fuck throw up a Waffle House. And now for the fairy tale ending, Joe and Tom worked together as best friends for 62 years to build Waffle House into what it is today. They both passed away at the ages of 97 and 98, and now Waffle House and their legacy lives on as that company is still being operated by their kids, and that is the American dream. Get together with one of your best friends, pick a goal, even if it's something as simple as serving breakfast to people, and never let anything get in between you and achieving your goal, even hurricanes and floods and natural disasters, apparently. Work with your best buddy for 62 years straight, and then die together and hand it off to your kids. In conclusion, Waffle House is the most American company ever, and that's why I love it. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
Nice.
Oh wait, we get a bit, don't we?
Yeah, he always
Just
gets
two homies that dedicated their life to serving my drunk ass breakfast at 3 a.m. I'm gonna get teary-eyed next time I go to a Waffle House.
He's so brilliant. Amazing. That was so awesome. Yeah. I want to get you one of those vests, by the way, so you can wear a fancy vest.
It's up to you. That's up to you. I do like a vest. We call them vests. You guys call them tank tops.
Yeah, we call a tank top where you can see the belly.
I thought a tank top was like a sleeveless jumper. That's what I've always called it. So like a jumper is like
I see a sleeveless jumper. I've always known as a vest as well. It's a vest jumper.
I've always called that a tank top.
See, I've always known a tank top as like, but you guys call this like, what do you call these?
That's a polo neck.
See, I call it a polo neck, But someone said to me it's a roll neck.
Or a turtleneck.
I've never heard of
I think
turtleneck.
that's what they call them in the States. Let us know on that one.
I think some people call it a roll neck because you roll the neck down.
I absolutely love that. I think that's such a cool story, but also the metric of FEMA looking at that company.
That's mental.
It's like we've got weather warnings out now because there's going to be snow tonight and tomorrow apparently.
But
It takes nothing for everything to shut down. And if you were to send staff to another town during a blizzard in this country, you'd be hailed as Satan.
But it's also, we think this is the thing that I had to get used to coming over from Zimbabwe, is England is an island and it's small. In terms of landmass, I think my dad worked out that it fit 3.5 times into Zimbabwe.
Something like that, yeah.
And so the weather is so erratic, like you can't predict it, like in an hour, even whatever they've said is going to change. Whereas in Zimbabwe, if they said it was going to rain at 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock, that's exactly what happened because it was, it was landlocked. It was easy to like predict things changing. But on an island, someone farts in Mexico and it changes the weather here. That's how bad it is.
I'm thinking more on the level of the government just being it's a bit of a nanny state, really.
A little bit.
Someone will complain that they had to drive in, half an inch of snow, and then
pretty much
like you'll put in a claim against the company, and
it's like our trains, like they never run. It's either the tracks are too hot, there's leaves on the tracks,
tracks are too wet,
or it's icy, and it's like that's 4 seasons.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, or someone's stolen some of the wire.
Oh God,
I've had one of them before, where at the signalling area or whatever it was, someone stole a load of the wire, so no trains could go. And it's like that is with apparently the 6th biggest economy in the world, and people are stealing wire from trains.
But you corrected me on the 6th economy of the world.
No, because it's technically true, but
it's just London.
The person I listened to said if you took London out of the equation, in other words, the city of London and the banks and stuff like that, we'd be well down the list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that story though. That is
so interesting. What a dude. Kind of made me think of the Arizona tea almost.
A little
Great
bit,
business idea, family orientated, and thinks about their employees, because that's what keeps your company running.
Yep,
it's good morale, good employees, and a good business model. Don't be cash cows. Don't use the system.
The cash cow thing is always like a means to an end for people, because they're quite happy to just take all of the money out of a company, reduce the standard of workplace for everyone and the morale, line their own pockets, and just watch it go like that.
Pretty much.
And then liquidate it owing hundreds of thousands to the government.
And just keep sacking the upper staff so that you can promote from the bottom and pay them less, which loses all the experience and the wealth of knowledge.
Anyway, that was a great video. Really enjoyed it. We are going to do the Fat Electrician's new video on his channel tomorrow. We're going to react to it tomorrow. I don't know when it'll be out. And cheers from OB Dave and T-Rex Face, or whatever you are.
T-Rex mouth. T-Rex out.
See you soon, guys.
Bye.